Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. There is a war happening right now, not in the streets, not in the boardroom, not in your finances or your family. The real war is in your mind. Before any man falls on the battlefield, he falls in his belief. Before any woman collapses under the weight of life, she collapses in her conviction. And I came to tell you today, if you don't develop a warrior mindset, life will defeat you before the fight even begins. You see, this is not just another motivational message. This is a call to arms, not with weapons of iron, but weapons of identity, clarity, and purpose. Because in this generation, the greatest threat is not lack of opportunity, it is a lack of mental fortitude. Too many are equipped with talent but bankrupt in mindset, gifted but mentally fragile, anointed but emotionally unstable. But hear me, you were born for battle. You were designed to endure, to rise, to overcome. You were not created to run from pressure. You were formed to thrive in it. But in order to manifest that version of yourself, you must develop the mind of a warrior. Why should you keep listening to this? Because deep down, you already feel it. You know there's more in you. You know there's a fight in you that hasn't been awakened. You know you were born to shake nations, not just survive situations. And this message is your wake-up call. I'm going to show you today how warriors are made. Not in moments of comfort, but in the crucible of crisis. I'm going to reveal why purpose isn't optional. It's essential. Why every trial is a test not of your strength, but of your mindset. And how vision will keep you sane when everything else is insane. So I dare you, don't just listen to this speech. Let it activate you. Let it stir your spirit. Let it resurrect the warrior that life tried to bury. Because when you walk out of this moment, you will not walk out the same. You will walk out with a mindset that says, I was born for this, I was built for this, and I will not lose. Are you ready? Let's develop the warrior within. The battle is in the mind before it's on the field. Life doesn't begin with circumstances, it begins with thoughts. It's not the pressure of the world that breaks a man, it's the pressure he entertains within. Before any outward defeat takes place, an inward surrender has already occurred. The warrior mindset is not first about muscles, strategies, or weapons. It's about mental posture. It's about internal alignment. It's about the invisible war that determines visible outcomes. Every victory that happens on the outside is a reflection of a decision that was made on the inside. And every collapse, every retreat, every moment of quitting, those were all birthed in the womb of thought long before they appeared in the theater of reality. That is why the battlefield of destiny is never just in your environment. It is always in your perspective. A person can be surrounded by support and still feel defeated if they do not believe they are worthy of winning. A woman can be gifted, beyond measure, but paralyzed by doubt because the enemy she's fighting is not outside. It's the silent one within. That is why in every great warrior there is an unshakable belief system, a conviction that is louder than the chaos around them. They don't draw strength from what they see. They draw it from what they know. The warrior doesn't win because the battle is easy. The warrior wins because they were already resolved before the battle began. Their mind was made up. Their purpose was set. Their heart was fixed. And because of that internal position, they walk into situations carrying an atmosphere of victory. This is what separates champions from victims. Not circumstance, but consciousness. The ability to command your thoughts, to govern your attitude, to choose your focus even when fear knocks at the door. You can be in the valley and still think like you're headed to the mountaintop. You can be surrounded by giants and still believe you are more than a conqueror. And that belief isn't delusion, it's revelation. It's the understanding that your identity is not informed by your environment, but by your origin. You came from a creator who never lost a battle. You were designed in the image of a king. You were formed with the capacity to rule, to lead, to govern, not just your circumstances, but your inner world. The mind is the command center of destiny. Whoever controls your thoughts controls your future. And if the enemy can infiltrate your thinking, he never has to touch your life. He'll simply let you self-destruct. That is why it is not enough to pray for victory. You must think like victory. You must meditate on truth. You must renew your mind daily. You must speak to your mind the way a warrior sharpens his sword, deliberately, consistently, with discipline. Because when the mind is fortified, the man cannot be broken. When the mind is focused, fear cannot prevail. When the mind is fixed on purpose, no amount of pressure can move it. Purpose is the fuel of the warrior. A warrior without purpose is just a fighter. Purpose gives direction, discipline, and destiny. Imagine a man without a cause, wandering through life without any reason to get up in the morning or any sense of what he's meant to accomplish. He might have strength, he might have talent, but without purpose, he will always be lost. Purpose is what transforms raw potential into something tangible. It turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results. The warrior you see doesn't simply exist to survive. They exist to fulfill a divine calling, to make an impact, to create a legacy. This is the distinction between the one who fights aimlessly and the one who fights with vision. Purpose is the compass that keeps the warrior on track even when the road is rough and the path is unclear. It is the driving force behind every action, every decision, every sacrifice. Without purpose, the warrior may be able to fight for a while, but eventually, they will grow weary. Because purpose is not a fleeting emotion or a passing thought. It is a deep, unshakable conviction that ignites the soul and gives the warrior the strength to keep going when the fight gets tough. It fuels perseverance, it sustains resilience, and it inspires unwavering commitment. A warrior with purpose does not retreat in the face of difficulty, because they know their fight is not in vain. They know they are part of something greater than themselves. Their battle is not just about winning today, it's about fulfilling the mission they've been called to accomplish. Purpose also provides clarity. It allows the warrior to distinguish between distractions and true direction. In the chaos of life, when everything is pulling you in different directions, it is purpose that anchors you. It gives you the discernment to say no to things that do not align with your mission, and yes to the things that bring you closer to fulfilling your destiny. Purpose creates a filter for your decisions. When you know why you are fighting, it's much easier to determine what is worth fighting for. It ensures that every battle is meaningful, and that every step you take is aligned with your destiny. Without purpose, you may find yourself fighting battles that are not yours to fight, wasting time, energy, and resources on things that ultimately do not contribute to your life's mission. A warrior with purpose does not waste time. Time becomes precious because they understand that every moment is an opportunity to move closer to their goal. They live with intentionality, knowing that their time on earth is limited and that they must make the most of it. The warrior's purpose dictates their priorities, their actions, and their relationships. It brings focus to their life and provides the clarity to move forward with confidence, even when the odds seem stacked against them. Purpose gives the warrior the strength to press on, even when the road is long and the battle is fierce. Ultimately, purpose is the foundation of a warrior's identity. It is what gives their actions meaning. It is what allows them to see the bigger picture, to understand that their fight is not just for personal gain but for a greater cause. It elevates their struggle beyond the self and connects them to a larger narrative, a narrative that transcends them, that speaks to their legacy and to the lives they are meant to impact. When you know your purpose, you become unstoppable. You become a force to be reckoned with, not because of your own strength, but because you are anchored in something far greater than yourself, and that purpose will carry you through every challenge, every battle, and every victory. Purpose is the warrior's fuel, the fire that keeps burning, no matter what the world throws their way. Adversity is the training ground of greatness. Hard times don't break warriors. They build them. The path to success is rarely a smooth straight line. It's often filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of pain. But what you may not realize is that every difficulty you encounter is not a sign of failure. It is an opportunity for growth. Adversity doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to develop you. It comes to refine your character, strengthen your resolve, and push you beyond your limits. If you view hardship merely as a burden, you miss the opportunity to transform it into the very catalyst for your greatest achievements. When you look at the history of the world's greatest warriors, leaders, and innovators, you will find a common thread. They all faced tremendous adversity, but instead of allowing it to defeat them, they used it to fuel their success. Think of the great military leaders, the pioneers, the entrepreneurs who changed the world. What set them apart wasn't just their talent, it was their ability to rise above the challenges they faced, to see adversity as an invitation to grow. They understood that the hardships they encountered were part of their training, part of their preparation for the greatness they were destined to achieve. A warrior does not shy away from struggle. They embrace it. They recognize that the battle is not just external, it's internal. The fight is within, to overcome self-doubt, to conquer fear, and to master perseverance. The warrior who faces adversity with courage is like the blacksmith forging a sword. The heat, the pressure, the hammering, they don't destroy the sword. They make it sharper, stronger, and more formidable. Similarly, your struggles, your trials, and your challenges will not destroy you. They will make you stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the greatness ahead. When adversity knocks at your door, it is asking you, how badly do you want it? It is testing your commitment to your purpose. Will you rise when the world tells you to sit down? Will you press forward when everything within you screams to quit? The warrior mindset is forged in these moments, when the going gets tough and the temptation to surrender is strong. But it's in these very moments that you learn who you truly are. You discover the depths of your strength, your capacity to endure, and your power to keep moving forward even when the path seems impossible. It's important to remember that adversity is not meant to be feared. It is meant to be embraced. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. If you run from adversity, you run from your own potential. Every difficulty is a lesson, every setback an opportunity for comeback. Your response to adversity determines the height of your success. The difference between a person who rises to greatness and one who stays in mediocrity is not the presence of adversity, it's the response to it. The warrior does not shrink back from challenges. They see them as the training ground for their next victory. Adversity is not the enemy of the warrior, it is the companion of the journey. You cannot grow without it. You cannot become who you were meant to be without facing the fire. And it is in the furnace of difficulty that the warrior's true character is revealed. When you choose to press on, when you choose to keep going, in the face of adversity, you are training yourself to become the person who can withstand any storm, who can conquer any mountain, and who can lead others through the darkest valleys. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen your mind, to deepen your resolve, and to increase your capacity for greatness. The warrior who embraces adversity is the one who ultimately emerges victorious, not because they never faced hardship, but because they learned to use every challenge as a stepping stone to their destiny. Hard times don't break warriors. They build them into something stronger, something more capable, and something far greater than they ever imagined. Vision gives the warrior clarity in chaos. In the midst of the most intense battles, when everything around them is in turmoil, it is the warrior's vision that keeps them grounded, focused, and unshaken. When the world seems to be falling apart, and the noise of distractions is at its loudest, it is the clarity of vision that provides the warrior with a roadmap to move forward. Without vision, there is no direction. Without vision, the warrior is like a ship adrift in a storm, tossed to and fro by the winds of uncertainty. But with a clear vision, the warrior can stand firm, even in the midst of chaos. Vision is the unseen force that guides every decision, every action, and every movement the warrior makes. It is what keeps them on course when everything else seems to be veering off track. It's easy to lose sight of your purpose when everything around you is falling apart. The world can be overwhelming. The demands of life, the challenges, the setbacks, and the chaos. It's in those moments that the power of vision becomes most evident. A warrior without vision is like a fighter without strategy, reacting to every blow, constantly on the defensive, never able to anticipate the next move. But when the warrior has vision, they are proactive. They can see ahead, anticipate the future, and make decisions that align with their long-term goals. Vision brings a sense of peace even in the middle of the storm. It is the assurance that no matter what is happening around you, there is a purpose behind it all, and that purpose will ultimately lead to victory. One of the greatest strengths of a warrior is their ability to maintain their vision, even when things seem to be falling apart. When you have a clear vision, it doesn't matter how fierce the battle is. You know exactly why you're fighting, and you know that this is just a temporary part of the journey. The warrior understands that the chaos they face today is not the end of the story. It's just a chapter. Vision allows them to see beyond the current struggles and focus on the greater picture. It gives them the strength to endure, because they know the battle is not in vain. Every struggle, every hardship, every setback is just a part of the process that will ultimately lead to their victory. Vision keeps the warrior grounded in their purpose even when everything else is uncertain. But vision is not just about seeing the end result. It's about having the clarity to see the next step. It's about understanding that the journey may not always be linear, but if you remain focused on the bigger picture, you will find your way. The warrior who loses sight of their vision becomes like a soldier wandering aimlessly on the battlefield, caught in the chaos of the moment. They might win a few battles, but they will never win the war. The warrior with vision, on the other hand, is constantly moving toward their goal, knowing that every step they take, no matter how small, is bringing them closer to their destiny. Vision is also the source of the warrior's confidence. When you know exactly where you're going, you can walk with certainty, even in the most uncertain of circumstances. Vision allows the warrior to make decisions with conviction. It provides clarity when the way forward seems unclear. It enables the warrior to stay calm, even in the face of adversity. When the warrior's vision is clear, they are not easily swayed by the opinions of others, the noise of the world, or the fear that tries to creep into their mind. They are anchored in something greater than themselves, something that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Vision gives them clarity in chaos, and it gives them the strength to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles lie ahead. In the end, vision is what allows the warrior to maintain their focus. It is the laser-like clarity that cuts through the confusion and reveals the path ahead. It is the secret weapon that gives the warrior the ability to rise above the noise, to stay grounded in their purpose, and to keep moving forward toward their ultimate victory. Without vision, there can be no true victory, but with it, the warrior becomes unstoppable, unshakable, and destined for greatness. Vision gives the warrior the power to remain calm in the storm, to stay focused in the chaos, and to move toward their destiny with unwavering confidence. Discipline is the daily weapon of the warrior. Victory isn't won in the moment of war, but in the quiet, consistent preparation before it. Many people wait for the big event, the moment of glory, the grand victory that will define their life. But few understand that the real battle is won in the mundane, in the everyday choices you make long before the world takes notice. A true warrior doesn't wait for the battle to come. They prepare for it every single day. The habits you form in the quiet of your solitude, the discipline you maintain in the small, seemingly insignificant moments, those are the things that equip you for greatness. It's easy to be motivated when the spotlight is on you, but the warrior knows that true discipline is about showing up when no one is watching. It's about being faithful in the unseen hours, honing your craft, strengthening your mind, body, and spirit, and maintaining a consistent commitment to your purpose, even when the results are not immediately visible. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. We all have moments of inspiration, times when we feel motivated to achieve something great, but motivation is fleeting. It's like a spark that ignites a fire, but without fuel, the fire fades. Discipline, however, is the constant fuel that keeps the fire burning long after the initial spark of motivation has passed. It's the daily commitment to your goals, the unwavering decision to keep moving forward, even when obstacles arise. Discipline is what turns intentions into results. The warrior knows that without discipline, potential is wasted, and dreams remain unfulfilled. Every great victory is built upon a foundation of daily actions, of consistent work, and of self-control. It's the discipline to train when you don't feel like it, to study when you'd rather rest, to push through the fatigue and discomfort, because you know that every step forward is bringing you closer to your destiny. It's also important to understand that discipline is not simply about restriction, it's about freedom. The disciplined warrior is not bound by the weight of procrastination, indecision, or self-doubt. Discipline frees them from the chaos of unstructured living and gives them the power to control their own destiny. The warrior who is disciplined doesn't allow their circumstances to dictate their actions. They set their own course and follow it with unwavering commitment. They are not slaves to distractions or temptations. They are masters of their time, their energy, and their focus. This kind of discipline gives them the clarity to see what is important and the strength to say no to things that don't align with their purpose. Discipline also demands accountability. A warrior knows that they cannot achieve greatness in isolation. They surround themselves with others who hold them to a higher standard, people who challenge them to be their best, and who push them to go further than they ever thought possible. They seek mentors who can provide guidance and wisdom, and they embrace the correction and feedback that comes with growth. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about progression. The disciplined warrior knows that they will stumble, they will fall, but they will not remain down. They rise each time, more committed to the journey, more focused on their goal, and more determined to succeed. The warrior also understands that discipline is not just about what you do, but who you become in the process. Every action taken with discipline shapes your character. Every decision to stay committed, to push through discomfort, to remain faithful to your goals, builds inner strength and resilience. The warrior does not look for the easy path because they know that the easy path does not produce the character required for true success. It is the disciplined path, the one that demands sacrifice, focus, and unwavering effort, that forges the warrior's true strength. Each day of discipline strengthens not only the warrior's body, but also their resolve, their faith, and their belief in their own ability to overcome. In the end, discipline is the warrior's greatest ally. It is what keeps them steady in times of uncertainty, what fuels them when the battle is long, and what ensures that every victory they achieve is sustainable. It's the daily investment in yourself, in your craft, and in your future. Victory is not won in a single moment. It is won in the quiet, consistent moments of discipline that prepare you for greatness. And the warrior who masters discipline is the warrior who will ultimately master their destiny. Legacy over victory. A true warrior isn't just fighting for today, they're establishing something that outlives them. In the heat of battle, it's easy to become consumed with the immediate fight, the need to win right now, to conquer the current challenge and claim victory. But the true measure of a warrior is not the accolades they receive in the moment, but the legacy they leave behind. Victory, while important, is temporary. It's a momentary triumph, a fleeting celebration of success. But legacy? Legacy is eternal. It transcends time. It impacts generations. A warrior who lives for the moment of victory will find that once that moment passes, they are left with nothing but the echo of their efforts. But a warrior who lives for legacy is creating something that will stand long after they're gone. Their work will continue to speak, their influence will ripple through time, and their impact will be felt by those who may never have even known their name. Legacy is not just about what you accomplish in your own lifetime. It's about the mark you leave on the world, the people you inspire, and the values you instill in others. A warrior understands that their actions today will shape the future. They fight not just for their own success, but for the success of those who will come after them. This is the difference between the warrior who fights for personal gain and the one who fights for purpose. The warrior who lives for legacy knows that their battles are not for temporary trophies, but for the lasting change they can bring to the world. They understand that every decision they make, every battle they fight, is contributing to a greater cause, a cause that will outlast them. The pursuit of legacy requires a shift in mindset. It's not about what you can achieve in your lifetime. It's about what you can give to future generations. It's about planting seeds that will grow long after you've moved on. A warrior who is focused on legacy doesn't just think about their own success. They think about how they can empower others, how they can make the world a better place, and how they can create a foundation for the next generation of warriors. They understand that their true victory lies in the lives they touch, the lives they change, and the lives they inspire to continue the fight. Legacy requires sacrifice. It requires long-term vision. It means that you are willing to put in the work now, even if the results won't be seen for years to come. The warrior who lives for legacy is not swayed by the short-term temptations of fame, wealth, or recognition. They are driven by a greater purpose, one that goes beyond the here and now. They are willing to endure hardship, to face adversity, and to make sacrifices, because they understand that the fruits of their labor will not only benefit them, they will benefit those who come after them. They are laying the groundwork for a future they may never see, but one they believe in with all their heart. But legacy isn't just about external achievements. It's also about the internal transformation that happens within the warrior. It's about becoming the kind of person who embodies the values they want to pass on. A warrior who fights for legacy is a warrior who constantly works on themselves, strengthening their character, developing their skills, and growing in wisdom. They know that the greatest legacy they can leave is not just what they build on the outside, but who they become on the inside. They understand that true power comes from within, and that the greatest victory is not the one they win over their enemies, but the one they win over themselves. Legacy is the highest calling of a warrior. It is the ultimate expression of purpose and influence. When the battle is over, when the trophies have faded, and when the cheers have died down, the legacy remains. And it is this legacy that will inspire the next generation of warriors to rise, to continue the fight, and to make the world a better place. The warrior who lives for legacy understands that their impact will be felt long after their physical presence is gone. They fight not just for themselves, but for the future, and in doing so, they create something that is truly timeless. The true measure of a warrior is not in the victories they achieve, but in the legacy they leave behind. And it is this legacy that will endure forever. As we come to the close of this journey, understand that developing a warrior mindset is not just about preparing for battle. It's about preparing for life. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you encounter, every moment of adversity is an opportunity for you to grow into the warrior you were born to be. A warrior is not defined by their external circumstances, but by their internal strength, their unshakable purpose, and their relentless pursuit of greatness. It's about mastering your mind, refining your character, and walking with vision, discipline, and unwavering faith, knowing that the battles you fight today are shaping the legacy you will leave tomorrow. Remember, the greatest victories are won long before the first sword is drawn. They are won in the silent moments of preparation, in the consistent daily choices that shape your destiny. A true warrior knows that it's not just the moments of glory that define them. It's the moments in between. It's the discipline to rise when no one is watching, the courage to push through when everything inside you says to quit, and the unwavering belief that your purpose is greater than any challenge that comes your way. Legacy is the ultimate prize. When your life is over, it will not be the trophies on your shelf or the accolades you collected that will endure. It will be the impact you made, the lives you touched, and the trail you blazed for those who will come after you. Your legacy is the story that lives on, long after you've fought your last battle. So I urge you today, embrace your warrior mindset. Stand firm in the knowledge that you were made for greatness. Let your mind be sharp, your purpose unwavering, and your resolve unbreakable. Build your legacy with every thought, every action, and every decision. The world is waiting for you to rise, and it's in your rise that others will find their own strength. Now go forth with courage, go forth with discipline, and go forth with purpose. Your journey as a warrior is just beginning. And remember this: the greatest battles are won by those who refuse to give up. Let that be your story. Let that be your legacy. And in the end, when the dust has settled and the battle is over, may it be said of you that you lived, fought, and won, not just for yourself but for the generations to come. May your legacy be the greatest victory of all.